Boom, boom, boom. Yo, we live. Yo, what up? Y'all know I'm late, but I hope all my peoples out there had a happy 707 day. You know what I'm saying? 2 sevens in the O. Where is? Oh, there you go. Daniel, what's going on? Ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. Do. I represent. Don't quit. RB in the building. What's good? What's happening? Oh, yeah. We are all right after the sun is gone. Who's down here? I thought it was wrong. Okay. Okay. So this one. Oh, bad. Here we go. Oh. Well, hi, everybody. I know you know. What's your name up? I'm in the SC400, sitting really low, stick in the flow. Oh, the hoe want me to come swoop her, take her for a ride in my blue Lex Luthor. But the bitch ain't got no gas fare, so I burnt her like fast Fred. Say how much you want that bad, Mr. IC Color, told CM Blood Money to go at the press conference. Well, I mean, we know Punk did try to get back into WWE prior to him signing with AEW. It's something about me, a new Mac 10. Click shit makes a motherfucker's night. Listen to it cause it's right. Quick twist it on, listen on the highway. You ride sideways. Yeah, I was gonna do a whole lot. I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah, after Leo goes live tomorrow, after NXT, I'm gonna have a special 707 day on the 8th. Wait, getting yeast. 22 ounces of yeast. Because HB, I met her last night and today she pays me. Want to know if Be Legit could kick it tonight. Baby got her hair done by Shonda. 11 and up. If you bleed, oh, not me. Not for I beat the boost down with a 2x4. Yeah. Every fucking day it's a holiday celebration. When the bitch I see crackers and she's on administration. Heights. Talking more shit than colitis. Man, it's been a lot of talk about Jacob done got the conversation started again. Yeah. I didn't jump in too much about what was going on because I'm finna do a whole live on it. So you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to give away a whole lot. What year was Blood Money trying to get back into? Oh, this is like this is
But I can't do no justice because the justice ain't to be did.
I'll say it was like either 19. It wasn't 20, so it was right around the time when everybody was coming back after the pandemic, but right before that as well. Because you remember when he did that interview with Ariel, you know, it was a couple other interviews he had made mention prior to him signing to WWE, to AEW, he had been trying to get back, you know, in the WWE. Now, in conjunction with that, this is what always gets left out of the whole story. The Young Bucks was actively trying to sign CM Punk to be part of the launch of AEW. See, they don't never talk about that part of the story. Now, I'm not saying the Young Bucks and Punk were friends, but I mean they kind of gave it off as if they was friends. But I think what kind of rubbed Phil the wrong way a little bit is when they said that they had texted him about, you know, signing and everything, and he came out and debunked all that. So I think that kind of rubbed him the wrong way, but they was all cool. Don't let them deter you from the truth. 2 per, I need 2 per. On my Air Force Ones. Stopping in my Air Force Ones.
Strap my face in look at feline green portraits and kiwi. Let's get this color to have personal meaning. You know I can say this, I play niggas in the club. Get my voice fucking tip top. Now go go flip flop. I like a lemon to the dish in the khaki. Get no be crazy. Bitch straight, you should see straight. I'm really not all that.
I remember hearing about that. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting how that part of the story got completely left out. You know, now they want to sit here and act like, oh yeah, we were like, no. Cabana, Punk, Young Bucks, all of them were in the same group. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, Cabana made it before all of them did. You know, but then y'all know the story. Muhammad, what's going on? Get the killing shit. Slugs. It's a kill chip. That nigga money. He's a buster, punk ass nigga. Don't know the streets. Ain't bent between some bloody sheets. It's just a part of the game he didn't feel. Bitches was killed. Fucking nigga. A dollar bill. You don't know that whole man. That bitch can't be trusted. Dusted in the motherfucker scusted. Cold-hearted. I never trusted them busters, shot him in the shirt. Dusted and disgusted. 2 or 3s on the other side of town. The other side of town. Shit to change. Ghetto shooting range, revenge on the rebound. War games. Coming out the chop from my nigga pot. Give me. Let me go. Calling. Stalling. Oh shit. Alone, if it's on, then it's on. Bust my motherfucker. Damn. It's a war zone. What's going on, Muhammad? Saying that the chain. Die over these bitches if you slipping in the gang. Niggas gang bang, but bitches gang bang to give up that hood thing. Nigga, there ain't no love in your heart, nigga. Dusted then disgusted. Bitches can be trusted. You know the rules. Boom, 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 boom. So y'all want to talk about the Jacob thing? Cause I know I'm gonna do a whole live on it, but that's gonna be more of a educational type thing. Cause I see there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I'm about to debunk all that misinformation. I'm about to give y'all the correct information. But if y'all want to talk about it now, we can talk about it now. But when that live comes, oh yeah, I'm about to drop a whole. Ooh. See, this is the type of stuff that I love. This is my playground. I love it. Like a cliffhanger, action packed. Tap that ass. The hash. Get your nigga stash. Yeah, I watched it. Hey, Muhammad, you gotta come over to no dirt sheets. No dirt sheets. Wrestle Tati. Come and hang out with us. We be having hella fun. You'll enjoy it too. Because it's man. The best heel chat in the business. Trust it. Dust it. It's some cold-hearted shit. Dusted and disgusted. Because oh, it to me. Because quiet as kept. I was actually going to do a live on Jacob Fatu a while back when I first heard him say the word. You know, I'm about to shed some light, because each and every night you gotta do it right. What? To me. I'm about to know some game. They were one in the same. You fit the one to blame. I'm about to shed some light, because each and every night you gotta do it right. What? They want it nice and slow. Kiss them from head to toe. Relax and let it go. Say it. They want it now and fast. Smacking ass. You gotta make it last. Together holding hands. You out there spending grain and then making family plans. Don't have to straighten fat. Don't want no strings attached. Just rest it on your back. What? Exes ain't acting right. And you so glad to fight. Dinner's by candlelight. Oh. She got I'm gonna speak on this. Trying that freaky shit. I'm gonna speak on this a little bit. I'm not gonna give away what I'm gonna talk about on my live. You know, but there is some misinformation out there that definitely needs to be corrected, and it's okay. You know, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of misinformation out there, and certain information hasn't been updated, and that's where a lot of problems come in at, because let me turn this down. Because people will go to research something and they come across this information, and it's not wrong information, but that's old information. So then it gets put out there as if it's current information, and it's not. You know, it just hasn't been updated for whatever reason, right? So, look at my letter. Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu, you know, has been recognized by a lot of people now, you know, for the use of the N-word. You know, I'm gonna tell you like this, and look, so I'm gonna give my new subs and viewers, you know, a little background about Jay Millie. Because you guys know me as who I am today. You guys know my affiliations, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. Well, the whole purpose of me doing this channel, because this was actually originally a revised channel, a new revised channel, because I've had other channels before. And my last channel that I had before this one was called Militant Minds, where I focus on basically everything Black, from religion, mostly religion and historical stuff. And just to give you an example, I'm not an Israelite, right? But I do come from the church. I do study, and I know when it comes to the Israelites and the Christians and all that, I understand that's a slippery slope, right? But I have nothing, like, there's no bias when it comes from me, because I have no ties to either side, right? So I deliver information. Now, there's some things that, you know, I'm not always correct about, but I'm more right than I am wrong. And the proof is in the pudding by the comments. And I hate to say it like this, but the likes throughout the years. Before I started to really kind of mess with my channel, kind of change it up, you know, from time to time. Now, I won't say I was a Pan-Africanist, a Pan-African or whatever, but I did go along with the concept because I was on the African concept, right? So through my journey, I was recruited by the Black Panthers. As a matter of fact, my family, certain members of my family were members of the Black Panther Party in San Francisco back in the original days, after Oka. And then yes, I was on my Black Power tip, all that, you know. And then in my journey, you know, I stepped away because I seen there was a lot of plagiarism. It was a lot of propaganda. It was a lot of, wait, you're doing the same thing that they're doing, so what the fuck is the difference? Okay, I'm stepping away. I gotta put some logic back into this, okay? So moving forward, you know, I've stepped away from that whole scene, right? And as I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all know, you know, us Black Americans have delineated away from the whole African American concept. And the reason why I call it a concept is because that's what the slave owners, you know, when they brought, you know what I'm saying, certain black people from different parts of the world over here to the quote unquote Americas, mix them in with the black folks that were already here and say that we're all African American, right? So the thing about that is that's falsehood. Because A, you can't be an African and an American because you're only born in one place. Regardless of what your citizenship is, you're only born in one place. So that's like a double dipping, right? Now, the only way that actually makes sense is if your family migrated from Africa, which still makes you an African by blood, but because you was born in American, that would make you an African American. That is the only way you become an African American. I ain't from Africa, ain't never been to Africa, nada, right? Now, I say all this because there is a difference in there's a difference in black people, is what I'm saying. You have black Americans, you have black Haitians, you have Africans, you know, you got the Brazilians, you got the Puerto Ricans, you got the Mexicans, you got all these different forms of black folks in the world, right? You got the Dominicans, you know what I'm saying? All these different forms of black people, right? And with that, you have different ideologies about what is and what is not. So in the case of what we have today is we have a bunch of black people that tells other people that it's okay to say the N-word. As a matter of fact, no, I'm not going to use the N-word, no. Nigga. Giving passes to people that are not black, saying it's okay to say nigga. Now, I've heard this whole, oh, it's part of pop culture and all that. Okay. If it's about pop culture, okay, then let the word wetback be part of pop culture. Let the word spick be part of pop culture. See, I'm gonna give it to y'all raw. I'm gonna give it to y'all with a whole lot of militancy. If nigga is part of pop culture, then God damn it, so should spick, wetback, and every other term racially charged terms, because every race of people has some derogatory term about them. So let's make that part of pop culture too. You see how ridiculous that sounds when people say that? It's a part of, no, it's not a part of pop culture. It's a part of American history. It's a part of the dirtiest, sleaziest time in American history that all of a sudden these people nowadays find it so comfortable, like, oh, well, it happened so far long ago, it don't even matter. No, it does matter. You know why it does matter? Because when black folks is getting arrested, when black folks is getting shot, guess what word that them cops is using? Guess what they was calling Ahmaud Arbery before they shot him? Come on now, talk to me. Talk to me. So it's not a power of pop culture. This still being used as a weapon against every single black person here in America. I don't give a damn if you grew up in, look, if I grew up in a Mexican household, well, no, let me change that because there's actually black Mexican. Hold on. If I grew up, let's say I grew up in a let's say a Japanese neighborhood, right? I grew up in a Japanese neighborhood, right? And the only thing that I knew was this culture, this lifestyle, right? Does that still give me the right to use terms that disrespect those people just because I grew up in that neighborhood? No, because I'm not them people. And that's where people got a lot of this shit fucked up at, because they think just because they grew up in a black neighborhood, it gives them a pass or just due to say the word nigga. No, it doesn't. Why don't you tell little 5-year-old Jay Millie it was okay to say nigga? When I used to have them grown ass white people chase us down every single day from school, calling me and my friends niggas. But nah, it's okay because it's in a rap song, right? Oh, it's okay because a person that is famous is saying the shit. Oh, he cool. He got the locks. He talks term. He dresses like that. No, because at the end of the day, what's the difference between Jacob Fatu doing what he's doing and Adam 22 and Vlad TV doing what they doing? Tell me what the difference is, because it's all culture vulturing. It's all culture. I don't give a damn about Jacob Fatu being a blood, being in the gang. Because I tell you right now, anybody that I've ever grown up with that felt comfortable enough saying that word in front of me got checked right on the spot. My family will tell you, I will go off on my brother's white friends. I will go off on some of my white friends if they felt comfortable saying stuff that they know they shouldn't have been saying. All this is passing. Why don't you tell George Floyd it's okay to say nigga? Why don't you tell Sandra Bland it's okay to say nigga? As a matter of fact, why don't you go to Emmett Till's gravesite and tell him it's okay to say nigga? See, all these people sitting up here saying nigga, they don't realize the hurt, the pain that my people has gone through in this goddamn country, and you guys think it's okay to say nigga? Because it's a cool term to say? No, it's not a cool term to say, whether you or an ER. Now I'm about to touch on that, and I'm about to debunk that bullshit right now. Oh, well, it's a difference between the A and the ER. Obviously, there's a whole lot of people in the world that did not pay attention in history class and did not take the time to go and do proper research and listening and pay attention during that research. Because let me inform you people on something. You know, back in the South, when all the white folks out there was doing all that shit to us, Jim Crow and all that, do you realize that a lot of them white folks said nigga with an A? Tell me when I'm telling lies. Just go and look it up. They said it both ways, but you have to listen to how they said it, because they was real slick with it. Because depending on what they was talking about and how they was talking about it is whether you're going to get the A or you're going to get the ER. You see, the ER is to put fear in you. It's to put fear in you and make you think twice about walking down that neighborhood, about talking to that white girl, or about talking to that white man, or going into that store, or going, nah. But the A is what they would call you right before they killed your black ass. So stop with all this differentiating between ER and A, because that's a fucking excuse that we gave to try to justify using that word. Words of endearment? How the fuck is it words of endearment when we're out here trying to kill each other while calling each other nigga? But it's words of endearment. Get the fuck out of here with the bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with the bullshit. Hey, Tati. So I think it's true to say whether people want to admit this or not, but anyone who is black because they have African DNA. Yep. I wish No Chill was here to hear this. Yeah, I was gonna come on earlier and I had to take care of a couple things. But I'm gonna do a whole live. Whole presentation. I'm gonna, you know, I'm putting on my teacher hat. I'm putting back on my teacher hat. Yep, where I'm from, you didn't get checked first. If you say it, you get your ass dropped, didn't you? Yep. Facts. Emilio, how you doing? Welcome. You know, as a matter of fact, RB, you know that other channel we was talking about? I think it was like last week. The New World Order channel. With that brother, you know, he made a video like a couple weeks ago where he stated, how is the Samoan able to be a nigga more than the actual nigga? Now I'm paraphrasing with the title, but the point of what he's making is when it comes to black people, we have to either be a comedy act or we have to put on a whole different persona. But when it comes to everybody else, they get to live who we are. John Cena coming out rapping, doing the hip hop thing, doing all of that. But when R-Truth does it, he has to do it. Look at the difference. John Cena had a whole album, you know what I'm saying, produced, put out, promoted by WWE. R-Truth been putting music out. Has WWE ever promoted R-Truth's music? Ever? You got two white boys teaming up, calling themselves Too Cool, doing some of the worst, oh my God, some of the worst dancing I've ever seen in my life. So why isn't more black folks doing what we do on a daily? Not a gimmick, not a character, but the life. But the life. You see, anybody else, they could come out and say nigga all day long. They could do the dressing up, they could talk the talk and all that. But when you go home and you take all that off, you take all the makeup off and everything,
for me, I like to mix my sauce.
You still whoever you are. You know, when we go home after dealing with life, we still black. We black when we go to sleep. We black when we wake up. We black when we walk out the door. We black during the day. We're not black for 8 hours, a few hours, an hour. No, we're black 24/7, 365. Who's the first person they gonna look at when you rolling down the street? Who the first person they gonna look at? Is it gonna be me or is it gonna be you? You know, it's an old saying. It's an old saying. It's cool to be black until it's time to actually be black. I wanted to get on Leo's panel. I could tell. But this conversation has to happen. But the sad part about it is, though, it doesn't need to happen. It shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait, hold on. So Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So everybody can go around call black folks and use black folks nigga, right? Okay. Check this out. So if that's cool, then what black folks should start doing is going around and calling every white person a cracker. Is it cool then? Is it cool then? Is it cool then? Let me drop some more information on y'all. I'm gonna put my teacher hat on real quick. I'm gonna throw a little history out there, little information that some people may not even know about. But do y'all know the ice cream truck? When the ice cream truck comes down, they playing that song. Do y'all know that song is actually a racist song? Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. I did because I didn't want to ruin his live. Like that, I respect Leo, so I held back in the comments. Pause on that. See, is this gonna play the song right here?
That's not right. Y'all really are not gonna like this one. Yikes, guys, the original name of the song was Old Zip Coon. It was released. That song, right?
Okay.
Y'all really are not gonna like this one. Yikes, guys, the original name of the song was Old Zip Coon. It was released in March of 1917 by Columbia Records, and it's now more commonly known as Turkey in the Straw. So if you search like children's songs, you'll find Turkey in the Straw. But its original lyrics were, nigga love a watermelon, ha 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 ha. Nigga love a watermelon, ha 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 ha. And even the graphics for the song, its original Old Zip Coon had an African American, big-lipped black face doing like a jig on it. And then in the video that Columbia Records released, they had a huge piece of watermelon and an African American male enjoying the watermelon. And it even went as far as to say that watermelon is the black man's ice cream. So there's that.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find the song, but you guys just heard that, right? I need the song itself. I don't think.
On TikTok, a lot of people.
I'm trying to play the song. Because I want the viewers, I want the people to hear this. Something that we send the kids out to get ice cream stuff when we was kids, and they would play the song. Okay, here we go.
Racist origins.
But when I first became aware of some sort of racist origin to the ice cream song, I just shook my head. I was like, wow.
That's Devin L. Walker from the Uncle Devin Show. He's a music educator who has studied the racist origins of some of the most popular nursery rhymes today. He spoke with us about the problematic past of the ice cream truck songs and other children's songs that have more devious histories than we'd expect.
It comes out of Europe, and it was a song that actually spoke more about animals. It was a song called "Turkey in the Straw."
But in 1916, vaudeville actor Harry C. Brown borrowed the melody and published a very different version.
He changed the lyrics to "Nigga want a watermelon, ha ha ha."
Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, minstrel shows featured white actors in blackface who sang these kinds of racist songs and played racist caricatures of black people, something that persists to this day around the country and the world. But in minstrel shows, music was what normalized the offensive messaging.
Anything and everything to
Hold on. Let's rewind that and let's hear what she just said. Hold on.
play the inferiority.
Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, minstrel shows featured white actors in blackface who sang these kinds of racist songs and played racist caricatures of black people, something that persists to this day around the country and the world. But in minstrel shows, music was what normalized the offensive messaging.
Anything.
Ooh. And isn't that what we have going on today? Other people using the word nigga in these songs to try to normalize the shit? Come on now, get the fuck out of here. But y'all just heard that, right? So now is it still cool to say the word nigga? Tiffany, no ass. Oh no, I'm gonna get on her ass too. Cause she got too many offenses. See, have y'all watched Lovecraft? Oh hell yeah! Oh, that's my shit right there. Yeah, my ex had got me into that. Cause she used to watch that all the time, and she was telling me about it. So I was like, okay, I gotta watch it. And we ended up binge watching the whole thing. I wish they'd come with another season, cause that shit was good. Yeah, and that's where Jacob Fatu is coming in at. Yeah, too many passes. But see, the thing about it is, and this is the problem that I have with WWE. They allow this shit to go on and they will not do nothing about it. They won't do nothing about it. But if you complain about how you're being booked or you feel like you're not being treated the right way, oh, they're gonna get rid of you. But you could throw off it. I mean, just look at WWE got so long of a history of racist shit. And they've been getting the biggest pass. Like I said, everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. You know? Now I'm pretty sure Jacob wouldn't want his kids to be called some type of, Samoan derogatory term. Shoot, they might get hit double time because he got mixed kids, right? Irony is that H.P. Lovecraft, the author whose the stories they use on the show, had a black cat named. Ain't that some shit? I heard about that too. I was like, what? Like, you playing? You playing? You know? I mean, just my upbringing, you know, growing up where I did, the only thing that I didn't have to do, the difference between my childhood and kids from the South childhood was they weren't burning crosses in front of our homes. They weren't trying to like do all the stuff that they was doing, but they did every single thing else. See, Samoans love our culture so much they made sure they married black women to have kids. Shaking my head like a fetish. Now you know what? You know what's interesting? So like I was doing some research earlier, and I came across some videos, and matter of fact, it was about 3 videos I came across where they was talking about how Samoans have a word, a derogatory word for black people. You know, now when it comes to Samoans, where I grew up at, like we was always cool. Like I ain't never had no beef, no issues, nothing with no Samoans. It's always been cool. But it was like, okay, this is who we are, this is who y'all is, and they never crossed boundaries to the extent of they kept it all Samoan. You know, they kept it all Samoan. Outside of some street shit, you know, but that's street shit. All the attire in the streets is the same. So I said, let me, I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch them videos. As a matter of fact, I'm going to watch some videos before I do my presentation because I like to gather as much information as I can before I start talking. Because the last thing I want to do is to come out here and say something and sound like a complete fool. You know, I like to do extensive research. I like to dot my I's, cross my T's, and fill in any gaps where there may have been left before. Micah Bell, welcome. And I'm actually kind of happy that this come up because this is like I said, this is something that I used to do. I used to give presentations, you know, before I really decided to deal with Facebook, you know, back when, you know, everybody was still doing the YouTube, back when everybody was doing the whole Facebook thing. I gave presentations, you know, on Facebook, and it's just something that I've always loved to do is study and learn, you know, and now whenever the topic of race comes up, I definitely have to put my 2 feet in because the thing that I have noticed and it irks the hell out of me is how people are trying to change the narrative of history. And it's mainly dealing with my people's history. And I'm thinking to myself, why? Oh, I got it. They're changing the narrative so that they can feel like it's okay to spew off all these derogatory terms and not have to deal with no consequences behind it. And then put these different labels on it to say, yeah, it's okay to say, hey, look, Lil Johnny, it's okay to say that word. Go ahead and say it. Believe it or not, it happened to me. The person I had a child with fetishized black women so much I didn't realize how obsessed he was until I was pregnant. He said, finally, oh, wow. You know, that right there pisses me off. And I hate that you had to had gone through that. And that actually brings up a very I won't say interesting, but that brings up a conversation that is talked about way too light, and that's how other people perceive black women as trophies. It's like, if I can get a black woman, I won something. And if I can have a baby by a black woman, that means I just won the fucking lottery. You don't love that black woman. You don't honor that black woman. You don't cherish that black woman. Don't tell me, oh, well, Jay Millie, you guys call black women bitches and hoes and all that shit and all that. And you know what I say to them? I say to them, you can get the fuck out of my motherfucking face, because what happens in this house ain't got shit to do with you. What happens in my backyard ain't got shit to do with you. We have problems in our own community that we have to deal with, but we spend too much time allowing everybody else to come into our community to help us out with problems that we can take care of our own. Now, that's not saying that we would turn down a little bit of help here and there if we need it, because we have no control. We own nothing. Everything that we had got taken from us. And all we want is just a little piece of it back by gaining our reparations. But no, that has to be a problem too. Why is that a problem? Everybody else gets shit from us long before we get it. But I don't see nobody jumping out of their bodies complaining about when the Chinese, the Japanese, and everybody else getting reparations from America. But when the people that were enslaved in this country ask for our just due, now it's a problem. Why is it a problem? And why is it a problem for you when it ain't got nothing to do with you? If you're not going to be part of the solution, get your ass up out the way and allow somebody else that want to be a part of the solution, that may have some things that can contribute to helping us out. Fat Joe perfectly. Yep. Don't get me started on Fat Ho. We call him Fat Ho. Yes, I was a trophy. He would literally say that to me. Yeah, see? That's that. I don't like that. I don't like that. The slave owner had a whole wife. Had a wife, kids, couple chickens. But no, he wasn't satisfied. You know why he wasn't satisfied? Because he knew what the black woman had. He wasn't satisfied until he had a nectar. Had that nectar. He wasn't satisfied until he had that. Why wasn't he satisfied with his wife? Why was he not satisfied with the woman that he said I do to? Why did he want to go out there and have sex with somebody that he looked at lesser than? No, he did not look at the black woman lesser than. He looked at the black man lesser than. He looked at the black woman as the trophy. And the only time that they did the shit that they did to black women like how they did black men was when the black woman stood on her shit and said, hell nah, cracker, I ain't doing it. DMG, yo, happy Seven's Day. I know we only got an hour left, but happy Seven's Day though. Shit, what the fuck? I grew up in a predominantly white town before it became diverse. My family, my overall big family is diverse. But the foundation of my family is black. And that's something that my grandparents, my uncles, my dad, my mom, and other older folks that I came across throughout my years reminded me of that every single time. And I stood on that. That's why a lot of times when I would get suspended in school, it had nothing to do with fighting or nothing. It's because I stood up to that white teacher because I felt and I seen what was going on. And I knew I was going to get in trouble. But if I didn't say anything, then I would have just been another statistic. That experience made me cautious about men fantasizing black women. I didn't realize it until it was too late. Not sure if I wanted to marry outside my race. Now, I'm glad you brought that up, Tati, because that actually goes into my own personal life. Because, growing up, you're not thinking about having kids too much until, you start getting older and, the realization of having kids is there, But I made a conscious decision to not have mixed kids. And that's because of what I experienced, what our people have gone through, and I knew that I needed to keep the bloodline as strong as I could, at least on my end, and I know my daughter, when she decides to, have kids, I know that's something that she wants to do as well. And that's not saying that having mixed kids is bad. No, it's not, because you love who you're going to love. You're going to have kids with who you're going to have kids with. But see, this is the thing where a lot of people be sleeping at the wheel at. When you decide to deal with somebody outside your race, you have to be thinking about that position. Because even if you are not thinking about it, the world that surrounds you, that you still have to live in, is still thinking about it. Having kids, bringing kids into this world, that is something that you have to think about, and that conversation does not happen the way that it should be happening. So now when the kids grow up and they're part of two different races, now they're getting attacked and they don't know what the fuck is going on. Now they have to make a decision. This is real life. They have to make a decision on which side they're going to go on. You can't choose both sides. I'm sorry, you can't do that. You could be cool with one side still, but you still have to choose a side. I got nephews who are black and white. You ask them what they is, they will tell you every time they black. You take Colin Kaepernick, grew up with a whole white family. You ask him what he is, he gonna tell you he black. Way ridiculous. Last time I saw him was 11 years ago in court. He told the judge I wouldn't be able to do anything without him, that I'll be on food stamps. Like all the whoa. He said that? I'm glad I wasn't around. I'm glad I didn't know you then. I'm glad I didn't know you then. And we lived in the same town. Because I swear to God, I would have waited until he came out that courtroom and he would have been on his way to the ER. One thing you're not gonna do, you're not gonna disrespect the black women in front of me. That's out. That's out. You know, I will lay down my life for a black woman. I will not lay down my life for a hoe. Know the difference. But I will still protect that hoe if she's a black woman. Don't get it twisted. Because she still got to get protected. She still has to be protected as well. No disrespect, but your baby daddy a deadbeat. He's a felon for trying. What? Oh, hell nah. Where that motherfucker at? Shit. I got something for him. Shit. The fuck? But there's a lot of stories like that. There's a lot of stories like that. The movie Get Out. How many of y'all seen the movie Get Out? That movie right there was a motherfucking trip. But that's reality though. They really do take our organs and they put them in other people. Still want to be a nigga, Jacob? Oh, okay. Yeah, see. Yeah. That's somebody like that, you know, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like not having that dad, but when the dad is a piece of shit like that, that would just bring too much toxic stuff that just would it just wouldn't be good. So yeah. You keep doing what you doing, Tati. You doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you other. Don't nobody tell you other. Because that's the other problem. People like to tell black women, oh, you need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You gotta let her make the best decision for her and for her child. You know, because really, I don't want to hear about how you did it back in 1968. This ain't 1968. I wasn't even. I was still swimming around in my daddy's ball sacks in 1968. Shit. I recently found his ex account. His bio said, "Father of black." Oh my God, are you fucking serious? He is out of line for that. He is out of. Oh. Man. See, he's still in New York. That's some foul ass shit right there. That is some foul ass shit right there. That shit got me hot. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit got me heated. Nah, it's good. This look, hey, Tati, see, you come over here, you can vent all you want. You know what I'm saying? I make this a safe space for people to come here, and anything that they want to get off their chest, they can get off their chest. You know. Nah, it makes perfect sense. Oh, he out there in Florida? Well, hopefully one of them hurricanes knock his shit down and swallow his ass up. Cause shit, to be honest with you, wait, hold on. See, this is somebody that don't know shit. So he's in Florida, right? That dumb motherfucker don't even realize he's in ancestry territory. Follow the path. All you gotta do is follow the path. That's the same path that the slaves took, that the slaves died on their way to the Americas. Oh yeah. Let his ass, swallow his ass up, motherfucker. You disrespect black women. Oh yeah, the ancestors gonna get your ass. The ancestors is gonna get your ass. Mm-hmm. Because they've been working a lot. They've been knocking motherfuckers down right and left. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure you on the list. Fuck it. You know, I told this story a couple of years ago. We had just moved. We had moved over to the hills. It was a new development area, nice houses and everything, quiet. You know, had a athletic club like right next door and shit, and it was hella cool, right? So nice house and everything. So I had this friend. He stayed like across the street, and me and him have the same name. So we started hanging out, and and we listened to the same music. He was into rap music and all that, right? So this one day I'm over at his house, and we're listening to somebody. I forgot who we was listening to, but we had got into this debate about music, and it got heated. So then after that, I said something, he said something back, and then I said, okay, well, shit, I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. And right at that point is when this motherfucker decided to call me a nigger. I was like 10 years old at this time. What'd you call me? This is what I'm saying in my head, though. So I just walk off. I walk off, I go home. I tell my mom what happened. My mom talked to his mom. He got in trouble. Shortly after that, we just obviously stopped hanging out. Then, like a couple years later, we ended up moving, and so I didn't see him after that. So the next time I see him is my freshman year in high school. And let me tell y'all. In the words of many of our great ancestors, he went home. Now, what do I mean he went home? He didn't die. But he sure was very grungy heavy metal. And we all know the predominant people who listen to that music. So he went from listening to hip hop and R&B and all of that to calling me a nigger to now you're listening and hanging out with people that are clear-cut racist at the high school. I'm not saying they're racist because of the music and how they dress. No, I'm saying that they was racist because this is the activities that they was doing. So he happened to see me. Yeah, I wasn't so much of a nigger that day, right? Yeah, right. Fun fact, when I first heard the song, Can We Leave Her? Yeah, I thought Nelly said, can we leave? Oh. Nah, he was white. He was a white boy. You know, he seen me and stage exit left. You know, oh, you were 7? Yeah, see, the first time I heard it, I was 5 years old. You know, and whenever we would like get off the school bus, you know, because I would go to my grandparents' house because the school that I went to was right around the corner. So we would take the bus and we would get dropped off. And as soon as we hit that corner, these white folks would come in their car, and they, oh my God, that shit traumatized me for a long time. That Nelly song, man. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It traumatized me for a long time, you know, and so that's why, like, you know, yeah, it was always, yeah, I'll be cool with you, but if you can't do nothing for me, I can't hang out with you. you know. And I've dated like, see, well, shit. I've dated like, you know, Mexicans. I dated a Filipino, a few white girls. You know, and the thing too, you know, and I'm glad, you know, Tati, I am so glad you told your story because that just reminded me of something. It was this one white girl that I used to talk to, and everything was going good. You know, we was kicking it, we was having fun, you know. And then this one day, she took me to her family's house. I got to meet her dad, her mom. She had a brother. Now, as a matter of fact, she had two brothers. And so we sit over there and we talking and everything. And I'm noticing how she's propping me up. And I just thought that was kind of strange. Like, why are you putting the extras on right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you should be like cool and calm and chill. You know, we at your family's house. So it just, you know, it was just weird, right? And so about a week or two after that, I had ran into one of her friends. And you know how people always have that one friend that run their mouth too much and like to tell everything? Well, her friend spoke a little bit too much that day, and I'm glad she did. Because she was telling me how, you know, her friend was so happy to be with me. You know, she's happy to be with a black man. And as soon as she said that, I said, she said, what? I literally asked her, she said, what? She said that she's happy to be with a black man. Did she say why she said that? She said, you know, she had always wanted to be with a black man, and now she has one. I said, what? Oh, hell no. I ain't nobody's damn token. What the fuck? Oh, hell no. And I cut things off with her that very next day when I talked to her because I knew I was going to see her that next day. So when I talked to her later on that day, I just acted like, you know, everything was cool. And then that next day, I knew she was coming over. So I was talking to her and I you know, I asked her like indirect questions to see if she was going to go along with it or not. And she wasn't catching on. So that's when I said, yeah, it's over. She was like, why? Because I heard what you said, you know, your friend that liked to talk too much. Yeah, she talked too much. And then she went on to be like, but I really do like you. You know, it doesn't matter that you're black. Okay, well, if it doesn't matter that I'm black, why would you say that? I don't know why I said that. I guess nah. We're not playing that game. We're not playing that game. You said it. You know what you meant by what you said. So just stand on that. I'd rather you stand on that and have some dignity than to sit here and flat out lie to my face and look like a complete fool. I'm trying to give you some goddamn grace, so you better take it. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't want to take it. So I told her to get the fuck up out of my house. See, white girls too, they want mixed children and want to find out if you have a big dick. They do. They do. Do you got a big schlong? I was like, don't ask me. When we get to that point, you'll find out. And some of them, I regretted it. Shit, I even had this one. She came pulling up on my house. I was like, and the one thing I always told people, do not just pull up to my house. Don't do that. I don't like that. I don't like people just pulling up. Some of that has to do with just straight paranoia of being in the streets and motherfuckers just doing shit. The other part of it is I could be doing something, I just don't want to be interrupted. Or I just don't want to be interrupted. Call me first. You know, but she ended up pulling up on me and I went the fuck off on her. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Shit. You know. But it's wild. But that should be going down. It's just like, nah. I'm not gonna be your token. I'm not gonna be your experience. You know, I'm not an experiment for your experience. I'm not that, never been that, never gonna be that. And, you know, that's just what it is, you know. And yes, you know, I look at other women, you know, I find women very, very beautiful. But my preference is black women. You know, that's who I want to be with. That's who I choose. And, you know, that's what it is. You know, if that rubs some people the wrong way, well, I don't give a fuck. You know, because you have your preference, I got my preference, and that's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and for some reason, people find like, well, I just want to stick with my own race. Okay, well, what the fuck is wrong with that? People literally be having an issue with that. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. You know, stop trying to live in other people's lives. You know, if I choose to deal with my own, then that's what the fuck I'm going to do. And if you're mad about that, or if you have some sorrow feelings about it or whatever, I can't help you with that. You know, you might need to go talk to somebody about that. You know, you might got some things that you didn't realize that was going on that you need to correct about yourself. I don't know. But if that's the case, then, you know, I strongly advise that you go and talk to somebody. But it's not going to be me. You know, I'm not going to be the one to give you the okay. You know, yeah, it ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, and it just seems like people have a problem with that. But you have a problem because I want to deal with my own women? There's a problem with that? Not only is that very, very weird, but that is probably like the dumbest thing to be upset about. Like you could be upset about so many other things that's going on in the world, but you weren't about who the fuck I'm sleeping with, who I'm talking to. What the hell? Like you got to be kidding me on this, you know? And it's sad, but that's the world we live in now. You know, people want to dictate, you know, who you be with, what you say, how you say it. And it's just like, no, we got to get away from that. We got to get away from people just being allowed to just say whatever they want to say and thinking that it's cool to say it. You know, like when women be calling each other bitches, I'll be having a problem with that because I'm like, are you a bitch? Because last time I checked, a bitch was a female dog with a tail on the end of it that barked and ate dog food and did all that shit. Are you that? You know? But just like nigga, that word just seems to be another word that they use the endearment phrase as the excuse. Those are like the two main words, and I'll just be sitting back like, what the hell going on? And then you got men out here calling women bruh. Hey, bruh. Like, when did women start having dicks? Explain that to me. When did women start having dicks? When did women stand up to pee? I'm confused by that. I don't get it. But once again, this is the world that we live in. But we have to get away from that. We gotta get back as a people. Like, this is what it is. I don't give a damn if it happened hundreds of years ago. Those hundreds of years ago still affects us today. It still affects us. And it look, every black country out there right now is suffering because, and it all leads back to one source. Now, we can sit up here and complain about it, or we can sit up here and do what we know that we need to do to accomplish the things that we complain about most. But the reason why we can't get to that point is because we got half the black people giving passes and okays to everybody, and then we got the other half of the black people that's saying, fuck you, it ain't going down like that. We're the only people that can't get situated on the same thing. We're the only ones. We can't sit down and agree on the simplest things that we know is wrong. I don't know if it's drugs, the alcohol, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a lack of education. I don't know if it's just it's a lack of something. But the fact that they allow this stuff to go on gives the credence to other people to think that, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, black people were done like this and they were called that back then, but this is 2025, so it's okay. How is it okay when it's still going on? Now, you can sit here and ignore the fact and act like it's not going on and just be blinded to the fact of this stuff happening. Or you can stop being slow, open up your eyes, and realize that you could be next. Now they don't care. Not one iota. When something happens to one of us and it pops up on the news, I be wanting to grab, I want to just like reach through the TV screen and just grab them and just shake the shit out of them, because I am sick and tired of hearing black people sit here and say, oh my God, I didn't realize that racism was still going on. This is 2025. Why is it still going on? You don't know. Wait, hold on. You a youngster. You got all this technology right in front of you. You don't know what's going on? You on TikTok all day? You don't know what's going on? You on YouTube all day? You don't know what's going on? You just oblivious to the fact you got all these white friends around you, but you don't even realize that you a token. You're accepted to the parties and the dinners, the backyard barbecues. That's why Lil Wayne should have his locks knocked off his head. Talking about, I don't see racism. You know, all my audience is white. And you don't see there's a problem with that? You don't see a slight problem with that? Hell, shit, you ain't got no Latinos in your crowd. You don't see a problem with that? You do. But how do you grow up in one of the blackest cities in America and you sit there and say it ain't no racism going on, but your city just went through Katrina, but you didn't see no racism in that though, right? Everybody else in America has seen the racism in that, but you're the Kanye West, when he was in his right state of mind, got on TV and said George Bush does not like black people. He told the president of the United States that he does not like black people. But somehow you don't see no racism. And there's so many others like him. Right? That damn phone in their hands 24/7, don't know shit. It's sad. They literally on their phone and don't know nothing. So they see these videos and stuff, so they think it's just okay to say all this stuff. But then at the same time, you got these podcasts that I know they love to watch be having these exact topics. So it's either you're watching the podcast for whatever famous celebrity and you're all Google Gaga because of whatever celebrity's on there, or you're just have it on for some background noise while you're stuck on your other device, mesmerized. No, I ain't saying my life matter, especially to my bitches. Predator West. Predator West, aka Kanye West. Yeah. That's why I said when he was in the right state of mind. Because he actually had some sense back then. But it's crazy, you know, how they can just sit here and just allow other people to literally call them these derogatory terms and say, yeah, this is my friend. This is my friend. Yeah, we hang out together. Yeah. Yeah, we drink together, we smoke together. Yeah, we hang out with same girls together. Yeah. Don't give, oh my God, hell nah. On the Kardashian, don't get me started on the Kardashian witches and how they fantasize black men and they all lost their minds dealing with them girls. Oh my God. Woo! They made a lot of money off of some black dick, didn't they? Did you hear about Kanye and his cousin? I did. I did. Crazy fact, his cousin is doing life for murder. Yep. Sure is. I heard all of that shit. This motherfucker put on a Black Klansman hoodie, outfit, or whatever. You know? Said this motherfucker done lost his everlasting mind. You know? But them Kardashians. Oh my God. Every time Kim touched somebody, they fucking career and it starts slumping. Like oh my God. But like I said, they made a lot of money off of black dick. Okay. OJ Simpson, look, OJ Simpson is the reason why they was in the position to do what they have done that has generated millions upon millions upon millions of dollars and a tranny. Yes, let me say that again. It generated millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars and a tranny. Because the whole time we did not know that Bruce Jenner felt that way. But we all seen the transitioning going on. He started growing his hair out. You know, things are starting to look different on the man. And then next thing you know, boom, I am woman. You is what? Oh, hell nah. But it all made sense. It all made sense. Now, I'm just going into conspiracy mode right now. And I could be wrong, okay? I could be wrong. Now, from what he was saying, or she was saying, that, what was it, in 83 when he, or 83, 84, whenever he was doing the Olympics back then, or it might have been in the late 70s, he had started like taking hormones or whatever, right? But I find it ironic that your manliness, your masculinity was still at a very high value. And then along the way, all this just comes about. Like I said, I could be wrong. Because, you know, celebrities will put out anything to make what they're doing seem better in a way. So they'll change up the story so, you know, it sounds good. They are wealthy getting plastic surgery. Oops. They are wealthy for getting plastic surgery to have features like black. Yep. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Them other brothers wanted to deny. When an itty bitty girl walks in with a fat, it gets sprung. Yo, when that song came out, oh my God. Oh my God. That song right there had a whole generation of white women pissed the fuck off. They was pissed the fuck off. And I was sitting there back there like, well, I was just, I was like, well, I think I was like 12, 13 at the time when that song came out. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm a teenage boy going through puberty right now, so everything looks good to me right now. Everything is looking good to me right now. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I do notice the difference between a flat ass and a nice little round shaped ass. You know what I'm saying? Nice, you know. And I noticed, in my years, dealing with black women that may not be, well endowed in that area, I will always, being the gentleman that I am, I am such a kind-hearted gentleman that, I got big hands, right? I got big hands. So I would grab their ass and I'm like, nah, you got some ass back there. They'd be like, no, I don't have no ass back there. I was like, look, I got big hands. If I can grab your ass and your ass covers my hand and I can squeeze, oh yeah, you got some ass. You good. They say OJ is closed. Yeah. Yeah, they try to do that whole DNA test shit. And they were like, no, OJ is no, OJ is your dad. Shit, we all know. That. And do you find it funny that after that whole thing, that she went and had that surgery to smoothing out her chin? Like, why all of a sudden you want to do it now? Is that like you was broke this whole time and now all of a sudden you got some money, so now you can do it? You could have did it the whole time. But it's because of that situation right there, you want to try to make the public believe that OJ is not your daddy. No, we know OJ is your dad. We know OJ was tap dancing on your mama's pussy. Okay? We know OJ was tap dancing on your mama's pussy. Okay? Shoot. OJ love that shit. I see it. OJ is tapping on that pussy. Okay? And let's not sit here and act like Bruce Jenner wasn't all up in Nicole. Okay? Because you're not going to tell me that, what's his face? What's his face that died? With Nicole. She said, ew, Chris Jenner. Goldman. You can't tell me Goldman wasn't tap dancing on Nicole. Okay? Nicole was getting tap dancing. And that's probably why OJ was beating her ass. Not saying that he was right in doing that. I'm just saying a man finding out that his woman is cheating on him, especially back in them days, would lead a man to putting his hands on his woman. Don't be talking about Nicole like that. I talk about anybody I want to talk about like that. And I'm not desecrating the woman. I'm just saying, I'm talking about her lifestyle of when she was alive. And when she was alive, man, look at the circles they was in. They was in a swingers club. They was passing each other around like a blunt. They was passing each other around like a blunt. Like a basketball, huh? It's your turn. It's your turn. That's the circles that they was in. The family could sit up there like, oh yeah, Nicole was all this and all that. Man, Nicole was getting her pussy busted open, okay? That's what was going on, okay? But that's why OJ killed her and killed Goldman, because they were sleeping together. Yeah, OJ did it. Yep. OJ sure did it. OJ did it so much. OJ did it so much that he wasn't even there when it was happening. But like I like to bring up a lot of times whenever this comes about, I always like to bring up his son, Jason, you know, who seemed to slip through the cracks of all that. Nobody don't like to talk about Jason. I like to talk about Jason. I like to talk about how Jason didn't like Nicole. I like to talk about how Jason used to snap at Nicole, used to yell at Nicole, how OJ used to have to get in between them because they would get into arguments. Oh my God, did we forget about that? Or did we just want to just put everything on OJ because he used to whoop her ass? So that's the easy target. Oh, but OJ's blood. Oh, so his son can't have the same blood type? His son's same blood? Blood type blood? They can't have the same? But it was a tall figure running through the grass. You do realize that Jason's like 6 foot something, right? Boy, pretty tall. I'm 6'1". He's taller than me. He's built like how his daddy was at that time. But we're just not even going to think about that, right? Okay. Still want to be a nigga? Still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? Because OJ was that nigga that was on trial for killing 2 white people. Still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? Ahmaud Arbery was just taking a jog down the street. And a bunch of white men decided to attack him. Then one decided to stick a 12 gauge through him. Do you still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? I'll wait. I'm waiting. Sandra Bland, falsely arrested. County jail. What happened? She's dead. What? Then they bring her out of the cell, prop her up to take her photos, acting like she was still alive. Do you still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? George Floyd had a whole cop with his knee in his neck. Couldn't breathe, cutting off his air. And just standing there just as chill as could be. While George Floyd was taking his last breaths of life. Do you still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? Emmett Till. All he was just doing was just being friendly. All he was doing was just being friendly. Then the white girl turned around and lied on him. Then they beat him savagely and then set him on fire. Do you still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? These are all things that you got to think about because these are all the things that still goes on today. Oh, I could bring up the truck driver, which they still ain't found dude's body. Do you still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? Or what about the brother in Texas years ago that got beat up by a group of white men, got chained to a back of their truck, and got dragged through the gravel until his death? Do you still want to be a nigga? Do you still want to be a nigga? And I got so many other stories I could just bring up right now. But I'm not. Because these stories, as good as they are to tell, each time they are told, it opens up old wounds. And it's wounds that the Jacobs and the Milk 7-4s and all the other races that decide that want to say the word nigga that will never experience in their life. Because you don't know the pain that we go through each day. Yeah, we put on a smile. We get on the internet. We have a good time. But if you know, then you know the pain is real. We deal with pain that people will never know. Yeah, of course, you guys go through pain too. You guys got your own story, but we don't try to infiltrate that. We don't try to change that. We don't try to act like your pain is our pain, because it's not. There is agony. There is sadness that my people have to deal with on a daily that everybody else will never, ever experience. I don't give a damn if you got a white boyfriend or a white girlfriend. I don't give a damn if you got a Samoan girlfriend or a Samoan boyfriend. I don't give a damn if you got a Mexican boyfriend or a Mexican girlfriend. I don't give a damn if you got an Asian girlfriend or an Asian boyfriend. It does not matter, because at the end of the day, they are not you and you are not them. There is pain that they will never experience that we have to experience every single day of our lives. Do you have to worry about when you walk outside of your door that you might get clipped in the back of the head? No, not by somebody else, by your own goddamn people. So stop getting on this motherfucking internet, stop making this fucking music, and stop going through life thinking it's okay to use racial slurs as it's some type of benefit to some type of culture that you didn't even create to begin with. Oh. Oh, okay. I'm back. It was something was going on with my internet. It shut off for a minute. I was like, hold on. The fuck? But I'm back. So like I was saying, you know, we find things that we do that we believe that is cool because it's the end thing to do. But the one thing growing up, one thing we did not do is we didn't use nigga as it was okay for everybody to say it. And for some reason, because a couple of people said it was okay, they put it in the music sounds good. Now it's like a whole wave of different people saying the word nigga. And then using the excuse, well, this is where I grew up at, and that's not an excuse to use a word that has caused so much pain amongst my people. If you say you care about black people, you should not be using the word nigga. Because nigga does not define a black person. It does not define a black man. It does not define a black woman. I have stipulated many, many times before, and I even put it in King Leo's chat earlier today. Don't call me a nigga, call me a niggas. Don't call me a nigga, call me a niggas. Because a niggas means king. Call me that. If you care about black people, then use the words of endearment that actually are for endearment. And not because you think it's a part of a culture. Using the word nigga is and has never been a part of black culture. That what needs to be understood. It is not part of black culture. It's not part of hip hop culture. It's not part of any culture. It's a disgusting word. It's a degrading word. And myself, along with King Leo and others, are working on ourselves to remove that word from our vocabulary. But I've always stipulated, once the word is removed from my vocabulary, the only time you will hear me use that word is through educational purpose when I am teaching something about history. But that will not be in my everyday language. And it's hard to do because we are conditioned to use that word every single day. But the same way we train our minds to use certain words, we can train our mind to stop saying certain words. And that is one word in particular that we should all remove from our vocabulary. So with that said, thank y'all for coming through. I will see y'all tomorrow. No dirt sheets for NXT. Tati, did we ever get everything straightened out for Dynamite and Collision and All In? Because I don't want to misspeak. Okay, so we're still waiting on that. So tomorrow, NXT, no dirt sheets, King Leo. I will see y'all over there, and I will be live tomorrow after that. And we'll let y'all know what's going on for the rest of the week. So thank y'all for coming through, Tati. Hey, great talking to you. Next time we got to get you on panel. And I think that's it. So, Jesse is live right now in case anybody want to go over there and show some love and support. So with that said, y'all have a good night. I love y'all, and I will see y'all later. Peace.